at the same time, it's like after you've done it enough times, it's like I don't know, it's like my second home kind of. But I flew flying, Joe. Yeah, driving's awesome too. I love driving. It's peaceful, You get to do a lot of thinking and stuff. But today, my buddy Nate, who I grew up with in Washington, asked me about how I motivate myself when I'm not feeling like doing something. And it's something that I understood intrinsically for a while, but obviously through like studying and working with people and things like that, and there's really a blueprint for it, and it's just like most everything. It's not deep, and that's what I want to talk about here since I got a little bit of downtime. Hey, what's going down, Joe? Welcome. Always good to see you. Um, but so I guess I'll just get right into it. Like for example, me right now traveling, flying around, get back to my hotel room at the end of the day. I'm not necessarily like, yeah, I'm about to shoot a video. I love you guys, but at the same time, it's like, okay, boom, let's get to it. Let's do what we're supposed to do. Let's do what we promised we'd do. Spent, Joe, not much spent at the VA in Omaha. Oh, man. Listen, for all y'all who don't go to the VA, going to the VA is like, it's going to take a day of your life going to the VA. Like, you almost never go to the VA and don't end up spending a whole day of your life. So, hey, but I heard you're getting taken care of, Joe. So I'm glad that you got to go in there and do that and stuff, and that you guys are getting what you need over there. But yeah. So let me get back on topic. Yeah. So basically, motivating yourself when you're not feeling it, like when you're not into it. This is really important because this is inevitably what we all run into come February. When we've made these New Year's resolutions and we're sitting here and we want to get results, but we can't because we're just not committed to the process enough. How do you motivate yourself when you're not feeling it? For me, intrinsically, like just the understanding I always had is just knowing like, hey, I know what I want to get out of this process, and knowing more about not just what I want to get out of the process, like in real loose terms, you say like, well, I know it's worth it to me. Well, you got to know what your why is. You got to know all these like little things, and that's all important. But when you really, really break it down, what gets me to do what I said I was going to do is a very, very solid, grounded understanding of like who I am and what I stand for. Like if I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna do it to the hilt. Like I'm going all the way, all the way in, or I'm gonna die trying. That's pretty much the way I approach anything that I do in life. That has a lot to do with my self-efficacy and understanding that I can. Hey, what's going down, John Rambo? Good to see you, brother. But like the blueprint that I found most helpful to really speak about how I can break all that stuff up into a succinct way to help you is motivation is broken down into three parts. Understanding, having a plan, understanding that you can achieve that plan, a realistic plan, and then furthermore, understanding that it's worth it. So you've got to have a plan. You've got to know that you can achieve that plan, and then that plan's got to pull you. It's got to have the emotional energy behind it. It's got to be like drawing you. It's got to be like, man, no, this is worth it. I'm going to do it. It's morning. It's still dark out. I'm waking up. It's time to go ahead and do this thing because this is what I want. This is what I got to get done. So think about it. The things you do in life right now, even if they are amazing to other people, they don't live your life. To you, they're not. Because why? Because you had a plan, or you know how they get done. You know you can do them. And you're doing them because you believe that they're worth it. You're going to work because you believe that your paycheck's worth it. You're doing what you're doing because you have a plan to do it. You're doing what you're doing because you know you can do what you're doing. And you're doing what you're doing because you believe that it's worth it. So this is literally the cycle of motivation that we go through on a daily basis the way we lose. Boom! Thanks for that, Megan. That's like getting an amen right there. You know, a little clap. Appreciate you. You know, so that's essentially what it's like. And like the way that you build your life essentially is you start to take those plans and those things that you're going for and you broaden them. You know, you broaden them and you start to come up with new plans, and you start to take bites out of things that you know you can achieve. And then you start, you know, you find ways to make those motivating for you. But what ends up happening is your self-efficacy starts building and building. What you know you can do increases because of what you are doing. Like in boot camp, when they're like, you're going to do this, and you're like thinking to yourself, like when I got to boot camp, I was a little fat kid. Okay, I was a little fat kid. I had to drop. You know, I was in good shape for being a civilian, but like, you know, I was football captain back home at 225, had to drop to 211 to get into the Marine Corps. And then when I came out of boot camp, I was 175 pounds. Looked like an underwear model back in the day. Okay, came out of boot camp. I've never been that small again in my life. But anyway, what happened? They're like, you're going to do this. You're going to climb this rope. I'm like, I can't climb ropes, man. I never climbed a rope in my entire life. Like, how am I going to climb this rope? Well, if I don't do it, I'm going to die. Boom, I get up there, they motivate me to do it. In boot camp, they do it for you. I get up there, I get it done, what happens? My self-efficacy, my understanding of what I can achieve grows that much more. And it grows that much more, and it grows that much more. And the more things you kill, you know, you start sounding like David, like, by the grace of God, I've killed a lion, I've killed a bear, I'm going to kill this giant. And that's how you really, I think that's really so much of what life is about, is building your self-efficacy. Building, you know, because life's always fluxing and changing. Life is the ultimate predator. It's never going to use the same tactic on you twice. It's the ultimate warrior, you know. So you're not going to, like, understanding principles, like I always say, is the name of the game. But, like, life's hitting you with all these different things. The only thing that's constant is you and, like, God. Like, the only thing that's with you all the time is, like, you and God. So, like, you're sitting here making your moves, and, you know, as you're getting hit with all these different waves, the only thing for you to really learn how to do is not do what we want to do as human beings, which is try to, like, find a blueprint to figure things out, or try to, you know, have some guru help us. Is really to learn that, like, hey, it's me, God, I'm here, and no matter what comes, you know, I'm going to deal with it. I'm going to learn how to deal with it. I'm going to deal with it a different way. I'm going to deal with it. Just send it, bring it. It's all happening to make me better, you know. So in order to motivate yourself when you don't feel like it, because what's going to get you to do it when you don't feel like it? It's going to be sitting here, like, for me, it's who I'm going to become. Why is it that, you know, on a travel day, maybe I didn't really want to make a video, you know, that's how you guys know I'm honest with you. Like, maybe I was like, man, I'd rather, like, just want to sit here and work on my other stuff on my computer. I actually really enjoy making these videos, to tell you the truth, because I'm doing something I love, right? That's the game. That's where you want to get yourself to. But when you have something you don't want to do that you know you need to do, you need to think about the fact that, boom, you need to make sure you have a plan. You need to make sure you know you can achieve that plan. And then you got to make sure it's actually emotionally motivating and worth it to you. How do you know if it's worth it to you or not? Like, well, when you're thinking about the long-term goal, is that payoff? Like, you know, it's something you can just think about. And that's essentially, I think, the best way to break that down. The fact of whether or not it's worth it to you or not, now that has to do with your values. That has to do with how well what you're doing really lines up with what you really want to see in your tomorrow. If it really lines up with your values and really lines up with getting you what you want to get in your life, you're going to get up and you're going to stink and do it. Like, you know, I'm not shooting these videos, or I'm not doing these little daily things because of the payoff. It's more about who you become. You know, it's more about what I'm doing. Like you know, so I forget who said it to me, but it's, what is it? I hear, I forget, I see, I remember, I do, I understand. So boom, I'm sitting here giving these principles, and they're going deeper inside of me as a result, you know, and I'm learning this discipline of getting up here, getting in front. Aha, I'm back. Anyway, so apparently, you know, well, apparently this hotel's got crappy Wi-Fi, but yeah, preach, brother. Thank you, Leo. What's up, big bro? Good to see you, man. It's just my, yeah, everything froze up, guys. It did. But, so, yeah, everything froze up. I'm back, though. So, to finish that last thought, you know, like, simple discipline, the one that you guys see, which is me making these videos, it's not about getting a million views. You know, it's not about going viral. No, it's about the discipline on a daily basis to help me really get the reps in, to help me become the person I need to be, to help me see the value, learn the art of like even all the aspects of putting video online consistently, constantly. You know, it's like what I get as a result of this journey is worth so much more than the result. You go on ahead and you take a millionaire right now, you take his money from him. What do you got? You've got a millionaire. The millions of dollars, that's the result. He can recreate the millions of dollars. It's not about that, you know? So, an appreciation, I think, for the journey, an appreciation for the pain of the journey, an appreciation for the consistency, the ability to be consistent. I genuinely still believe that consistency is the key to success. Like anything you want, if you can stay consistent about it, you're going to get it. So, and we see that in our world in many different ways, man. It's just like the consistency is the missing key. So building that self-efficacy, building those internal muscles and being able to stay consistent. You know, it's not so much about the thing I'm not being consistent about. It's about the fact that I said I was going to do it. And if I don't do it, and if I don't stay consistent about it, what message am I sending to my psychology subconsciously and even consciously that it's okay to stop, it's okay to quit because I don't feel good, I don't want to do it, I don't want to, you know, boom. So I back out, I back down, and then the next time it's a little bit easier. We know all these principles, but the implementation of these things, that's the real deal. Holyfield, like Morpheus says, like knowing the path and walking the path are two completely different things. That little gap between knowing and doing, that's game time right there. That's where it all happens. You know, like my little stick figure fighter guys. Anyways, y'all. So that's really what I got for you today. Stay consistent, not so much because it's about the result you'll get from that one thing. Like think about you're climbing a mountain. You're climbing a mountain. Left, right, kill, boom, stepping, doing your thing. What's happening? You know, the mindset we've been given, or the mindset that's easy to such great motivation. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, Megan. You know, like the mindset that we generally tend to lean towards is, I want to get this goal. So we look up here, looking at the mountaintop, and we're like, hey, I'm looking at this goal. I'm like, I really want to get this goal. And what happens? You're staring at this goal, and there's this whole path between you and the goal that you have to climb up. Well, then you got to go ahead and fight to get up there. And what happens? It's this whole battle. But if you can just tweak the way you're thinking to where you realize the reality that's right in front of you, it just is two different ways of looking at it, your perception, your perspective, right? If you can just look at it like this, that every single step you take, every single day you make a step, encapsulates that victory that you're gonna experience when you get to the mountaintop. Do you realize that? Every single step you take encapsulates your victory. Every single day you're able to stay consistent encapsulates your victory. Every single rep you do at the gym encapsulates the end result you want. Every single time you do the thing. Every single time. Like when you are the world-renowned XYZ, like, you know, international motivational speaker, whatever it is you want to be, every single action encapsulated that victory along the way of your journey. You could not make it to that mountaintop without any one of those steps being taken out of the process. So from that perspective and that perception, we unlock the potential of the process taking place in your life, on the road to your own greater destiny, purpose, and future. With that, boom! I love you guys. If there's a microphone, I drop it. At any rate, so that's my 2 cents on that. Nate, I hope I touched on what you were asking me, and if not, shoot, send something in the comments, and I love you, brother, and miss you guys back home, and everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, later. Oh, and if you know somebody who could use this message, share it, flip it, flop it, send it out there. Send it out to cyberspace. Let's help each other. Because we all know the world it's some real stuff. It's real life. It's no joke. So, All right, you guys, with that, hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you're at. Good afternoon and good night. God bless all of you. Later.